There's an Aliens arcade rail shooter that no longer exists. In fact, it probably stopped existing a year after its release. And I know what you're thinking. There is an arcade rail shooter of Aliens. There's probably two different ones by now, I think, that you'd probably find around your local Ben and Jerry's or so. But this particular Alien rail shooter was not released in arcades. It was surprisingly released as an early mobile game. Around the mid-2000s, mobile games were legit some of the best things we had when carrying a cell phone. Cell phones now are like handheld PCs. They've reached the peak of what a cell phone can do. You can take pictures in 4K, record video in 4K. They come with a lot of storage space. You can live stream. You have access to the internet, of course. The internet speed is faster than ever. And when we're searching for something online, everything looks like how it does when it's displayed on a computer. So cell phones now are like mini computers. But in the mid-2000s, cell phones came in different shapes and sizes, some of the best to be honest. But they all had low storage space, and the graphics, they were like compared to Super Nintendo graphics. They were pixelated. I loved it. And if your phone could record video, then the quality would be at the lowest you've ever seen. And if it could record video, then it would likely record up to like 15 seconds only. I know, right? Crazy. Over time, you'd get phones that could do a little more, but that was just it. It was a little more. But trust me when I say that these weren't negatives. These were positives in disguise. When your phone has low internet speed, like really low internet speed, you're not going to be stuck on a loop staring at your phone for countless hours. Hey, if it took forever to load up one stupid TikTok vid, everyone would have given up on the first swipe, and the world would surely be a better place for it. Now, with phones having such short memory space, games had to be quite small in order to sell. And you wouldn't believe how many games were made for these old school mobile phones, which would only sell for about a year. And then they'd be replaced with a new game, which was likely based on a new movie or game that was popping at the time. When the movie Doom came out in theaters, they released Doom RPG for mobile games. I love that movie, so naturally I had to buy the game Doom RPG, and it was awesome. Luckily, a lot of these Java mobile games have been restored, and you can download them to your current phone, and you can play them after downloading the right emulator for your phone. And to my surprise, I found Doom RPG. It's exactly like I remembered it, but as you can see, this is what an average mobile game at the time looked like. These other examples here can give you an idea of what to expect for the graphics and gameplay, right? One thing I gotta mention is that these games were cheap. You only had to spend about $1, $2 or $3 maybe. But nothing like today's bullshittery where mobile games are all trying to make you waste your money on their in-game currency, which is always at least around $10. You wanna know how badly you're getting rammed by your favorite mobile game? Doom RPG cost me $2. And it was fun from start to finish. That's right, you got to a finish line with old school mobile games. With today's mobile games, you can't finish that shit. There's no end to those games. You know why? Because they want you to keep giving them money for the same game you've been playing for years now. Oh yeah, let me jerk back around to the vid's topic, the Alien arcade rail shooter. This game is based on the Aliens vs. Predator movie that came out in 2005. So naturally, they got their own game adaptation on mobile games. I found the AVP mobile game, and this is it. As you can see, this does not closely resemble an arcade rail shooter. In fact, this is not the same game I was talking about. It shares the same name, but it's not the same game. Now, one thing that a lot of mobile games did at the time was release a better version for the latest cell phone. So if a phone was capable of better graphics and performance, then the devs of that game will offer an updated version for that phone. Like for example, Resident Evil Degeneration got a game adaptation for mobile games, for mobile phones, otra vez. The earlier phones got a version where the gameplay closely resembled the original Resident Evil trilogy, with the fixed camera angles. But the updated version of Resident Evil Degeneration got a gameplay style that closely resembled Resident Evil 4. So I'm guessing that this AVP mobile game is the early version of the arcade rail shooter. However, I have personally played the AVP arcade rail shooter, and it wasn't on the updated cell phones like the T-Mobile Sidekick. That AVP rail shooter was being played on an old school flip phone, and you know what? It looked too damn impressive. But I won't need to describe what it looked like, because even though I could not find the game file online, there is, at the very least, a game trailer for that AVP rail shooter. This is that trailer. I experienced this game at my high school during a Spanish class. My friend Hancock had it. I was in my junior year of high school when I played it. So it was 2007, and since the movie came out in 2005, then it was definitely removed from the mobile shop by the time I was trying to buy it. But that freaking game surprised the hell out of me, because there is no way some developers can jam an entire arcade rail shooter on a freaking old school flip phone. I mean, one of these with the thick ass numeric keypad buttons, this type of flip phone, and yet they did? It's impressive as hell. And since it was a friend's game on his cell phone, well, then I could only hold on to it for about a minute, because nobody lets anyone else hold their cell phone for longer than like half a minute. Well, I don't mind, because I mean, I'm not saving a bunch of private shit in there, especially when I know that cell phones get replaced whether you like it or not. But also, everyone keeps private shit on their phone, and I guess some people just can't help but take pictures of their scrot, so I barely got to experience that AVP game. It's a damn shame. But it's also a damn shame that this game has been lost forever. There are tons of Java mobile games I grew up with that I enjoyed a lot, such as Zombieland 1. If you played that game on a numeric keypad flip phone, then you know I ain't exaggerating when I say that game was the shit. I have yet to find that game as well. We, of course, have clear access to the sequel game. But hey, at the very least, we at least have this trailer to display its impressive graphics and gameplay, which we'll never get to experience. Unless someone out there still owns their old school flip phone with this game in it, and it still has to work. I don't know how an old school flip phone can work though. I tried keeping all my previous cell phones in good condition, but they all crap out around a year or two. I don't know why. So because of that, I think we're literally looking at an extinct game here, aren't we? That's it for the video. If you enjoyed it and would like to see exclusive videos, then check out my Patreon. I post at least a couple new vids there per week, along with updates and comic panels from some of my new comics that I've been working on. But also, you get to see your name at the end of each video here as my thanks for your contribution. Anyways, I'll see you around, and remember to have an awesome day.